Man, we are doing well. Let me take a sip of water, may I? Okay, we're going to give people a minute to join in here. Man, I'm super excited to be with all of you this evening. Just got some really, man, just got off of a podcast where I interviewed my brother, Eric Forner. Man, you want to talk about somebody that is just doing some incredible work and has such an incredible message to spread? Eric Forner. Go follow him, friend him on Facebook, TikTok, wherever you are, go follow him, man, okay? But guys, I apologize. I've been having this cough and like I got this tickle in my throat. I don't know. It's never happened before. Hopefully, I'm not dying. We're all dying. Okay, quick side note. But hey, I have a special message for some of you, maybe only two of you or three of you, the few of you that watch this, maybe the thousands of you that watch this. I want to talk to you about a secret that I've been holding in that I really haven't been wanting to share with anybody. And the secret, it's a secret that I haven't not been sharing it because it's dark or it's really bad, but it's kind of embarrassing. I recall a time back in April. It was one of the lowest days of my life. You ever just have one of those days where you felt like everything was going to collapse? For me, it was a Saturday. I had just started a new job in the United States military, growing my online coaching business, and I was at work on a Saturday. See, the thing is, in the military, you don't ever go to work on Saturdays, really. Maybe like 10% of the time. Very, very rare. There I was on a Saturday. My new job required me to work Saturdays. My hours were from 5:15 in the morning to at least 5 p.m. at night. And a lot of the times I would have to stay out in the woods and work multiple days in a row. The first day at work, I sat down on a couch, and sitting in front of me was a calendar. And that calendar was what we call the training calendar. It laid out by day, by week rather, what we're doing that week. And all I could see was red. The calendar was marked red, red, red. Every week said red. And what that meant was we're going to be out in the woods training for at least 3 days, 24 hours a day, around the clock, sleeping out in the woods, eating out in the woods. And in that moment, I felt potentially the lowest I have ever felt. You ever felt this way? You asked yourself something like this: how the hell am I going to make this work? I don't have any time. There's no way I can do this. This is impossible. Why couldn't I be in a different situation? I sat there on that couch in my Army uniform, feeling empty, feeling defeated. Finally, work ended and got in the car. You ever just been so overwhelmed with negative emotion that you just defaulted back to a negative behavior? That's exactly what I did. My biggest obstacle is food. I love food. Like, if I didn't love food as much as I do, I would be so ripped, it would be ridiculous. Like, I would be like 5% body fat, but I love food. For me, I love ice cream. So after I left work feeling as terrible as I was feeling, I said, man, I know what will make me feel better. I'm going to get me some Sonic. Went to Sonic. I got me a Blast. The Blast had cookies and cream and it had chocolate chip cookie dough. And I got the biggest size because I felt I deserved it. You ever just felt so negative, so down, so depressed, so much anxiety, so much overwhelm, so much frustration that you felt like you deserved to fall back to your negative routine? So I said, I deserve this. I feel like crap. I deserve this. I went, I got my large Blast with cookies and cream and chocolate chip cookie dough, and I sat in the parking lot. And I ate the entire thing. I felt disgusting, full, just gross. I think you probably have had that experience, right? The thing was, I thought the ice cream was going to make me feel better, but it actually made me feel worse. Because the thing is, oftentimes our conscious tells us what to do, but we fall back to our bad habits, which is the opposite of what our conscious tells us to do. So we feel empty. Because there's a quote that says that our conscious is God's voice internally. And when we ignore our conscious and we do the opposite of what our conscious is telling us to do, we're ignoring God. And I went home and I laid down on my couch. All that sugar, all of that nastiness just got me so tired. I laid down on the couch and I fell asleep. Woke up about 2 hours later and I was more tired than before I went to sleep. And it wasn't because I was physically more tired, but mentally my mind couldn't stop racing about how can I make this work? And what if it doesn't work? And I'm going to have no time. And I don't know how, this is impossible. And all the feelings of defeat had me just destroyed. And I just laid there like this, looking up at the ceiling. And I asked myself the question, how can this possibly work? And then about 30 seconds later, another voice came to my mind. And that voice said, Devin, what if you could figure this out? Devin, imagine if given this constraint that has now been placed on your life, imagine if you could figure it out during this. Imagine when the time comes when you have more time, when you have more freedom, when you have all of the things that you won't have right now. If you could figure it out now when it's the least ideal, what is going to be possible when the world is ideal? Or what is going to be possible when the circumstances are in your favor? There was a quote out there that says that most people blame where they are on circumstances. I don't believe in circumstances. The people that get on in this world are the ones that get up and look for the circumstances they want. And if they cannot find them, they make them. So that voice was talking to me. That voice said, Devin, what if you could figure it out now? See, here's something to write down. Constraints lead to creativity. Constraints unlock creativity. Because when you have a limitation, when you have a constraint, what most people do is they think, well, this can't work. What winners do is they ask, how can this work? So if you have a 9-to-5 job, if you don't feel like you have the time, ask yourself the question, how can I make this work? Because if we just continue to focus on, I have the job, I don't have time, I don't have this, I don't have the money, you're going to continue to see that in your reality. Because whatever we focus on is what we get. So I asked myself, how can I make it work? What can I do? And I started to get solution-oriented. I had a mentor of mine in the military once. I used to bring him all these problems. I said, Captain Sellers, I got this problem, I got that. He said, get out of my office. I said, Captain Sellers, why do I got to get out of your office? He says, you never come to me with a problem unless you have a solution. And that was about 8 years ago. I never forgot that. Winners bring solutions, losers bring problems. That's a writer downer. So I started, what's the solution? What's the solution? How can I make it work? What can I do? What can I do? And then within the next 2 weeks, generated 20 some odd $1,000 in business because I became solution oriented. See, the thing that most of us think is that we think we have to take the slow road to success. That is bullshit. You don't have to go slow. I just want to make my first 1,000. It done got to be that way. I remember in college, when my dad changed my life, he asked me the question. He said, Devin, what makes you any different from anybody who's done anything great in this world? I said, Dad, I don't know. They're just naturally more talented, better. They look better. They're more handsome. No, they ain't. And all of these different things. Dad, I just don't got it like that. I'm just average. And he said, son, never forget this. Anybody who's ever achieved anything great puts on their pants one leg at a time, just like you do. Anybody who's ever achieved anything great puts on their pants one leg at a time, just like you do. So, son, what makes you different? I went back to high school. I was a sophomore going into my junior year. As soon as junior year started, I went from number 62 in the class to number 5. Massive jump. I didn't have to go 62 to 60, 62 to 50. Most of us think we have to do this incrementally when in reality we could do it exponentially. But the only way we go from incremental to exponential is if we change the way that we think and if we change the things that we focus on. Man, I'm speaking to me. Thank you, Devin, for talking to you tonight. You're welcome, Devin. And I know I'm talking to somebody because this is a freaking sermon. This is a homily. This is good. Can I give you a piece of wisdom and advice when it comes to storytelling and public speaking? You want to get really good at speaking in sound bites. Now, if you notice, I have a lot of bars. Like, ooh, that one-liner was good, or ooh, that one-liner was good, or ooh, that one-liner was good. Get really good at speaking in one-liners because that's the thing that people will remember, number one, and also the thing that will make you go viral online, number two. But getting back to my story, you don't gotta go slow. I remember there was a friend of mine he was a junior, I was a senior, and he came up to me, Devin, I'm going to crush it in school this year. And I was like, yeah, all right, man, cool. Like, how you doing right now? He's like, yeah, I'm at like a 90 average right now. I was like, oh, sick. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go to a 92. It's like, 92? Why are you going to settle for 92? He's like, well, I got to do like baby steps. Baby steps? Baby steps are for babies. We are grown-ups. Let's take grown-up steps. We don't have to go incrementally. We can go exponentially if we change the way that we think. I don't think you have to take baby steps. You can grow exponentially once you make a decision that is my time to grow exponentially. And I'm in that place in life right now where I'm ready to grow exponentially. If you're with me, I think there's a few people here. If you're ready to grow exponentially, tell me in the chat that you're ready to grow exponentially because I'm about to take off and you're about to witness something that I don't think you've ever witnessed in your life before. Because I got that dog in me. I got that. Here's the secret. I kind of lost myself for a bit. You ever just lost yourself for a bit, like where you forgot who you were? And you thought that you were somebody that you really weren't? I'm a mother dog. I do stuff that nobody else does. Yeah, that's me. So I had to remind myself of this. And I'm not saying this to be cocky, but sometimes you need to remind you who you really are. And I don't care who's listening. And I don't care who's watching. You got to remind you who you are. Because sometimes you forget who you really are because you've allowed yourself to believe that you're somebody that you're really not. Because negative circumstances, scenarios, things have happened, failures, setbacks, upsets, got you thinking that you're somebody that you're really not. Most of us live out of our memory rather than live out of our imagination. We have no problems remembering all the bad stuff that happened, but when it's time to remember the good stuff, no, we don't want to do that because it's easy to focus on the negative and ignore the positive. I'm preaching up in here today. I'm really preaching some stuff. See, I don't give myself credit often, but man, I'm preaching some stuff today. This is one of the better ones. This is good. So I had to remind myself. I lost myself out here quitting and not being persistent and giving up easily and doubting myself. Devin, you know who you are? You know what you've done? You ran 105 miles. You ran a 77-mile race and beat everybody. You We're the valedictorian of your college. You were the top 50 business student in America. You were the number 3 out of 6,000 cadets in RT. You did all of that. My neighbors definitely hate me right now. Guys, you could think I'm cocky. You could think I'm arrogant. Number one, I don't give a shit. Number two, I wish you could be here with me. Because as I say this, I feel powerful. And that's the thing more of us need. The need to feel powerful. And what I just did was I have this I was having a protein shake because, I got to keep up these. Can't Photoshop those. Look at them bad boys. I got the ledge. You lucky they won't stop it. You see that? Come on, man. You can't buy these in the store. They ask me sometimes. They say, boy, that shirt come with muscles? I said, no. Okay, let me stop it. But anyways, where was I going with this? Okay, here we go. This is the bottle where I have my protein shake. Inside the bottle, I got my protein. The protein makes me strong. See, what we have to do is we need to start having a bottle where we have all of the good shit that we've done in our lives, where we have all of the accomplishments stacked up, all of the wins, all of the times we overcame, we conquered, we persisted. And then what happens is when we start to fall back, when we start to think negative, crack this baby open, and we drink those accomplishments. We remind ourselves of who we really are. Because you're not your setbacks. You're not your obstacles. You're not the time that you quit. So the secret that I've been holding in is shit, I don't got it all figured out all the time. That sometimes I forget who Devin is, but then I need to remind me. So if you're really having a hard time remembering who you are, you're going to do what I did. And I went and I texted friends from college when I was on savage in college, savage, doing stuff nobody else did, savage. See how I talk? I get really passionate. I texted them. Here's the text that I sent to a couple of my roommates because they know me best. I said, what do you think separated me from other people in college? What do you think really drove me? Hey, Devin, what separated you was your drive to succeed and do whatever it took. You used to wake up at 5 a.m. to study, haha. Plus, you didn't really party so you could stay focused. I think you were driven by personal success, but also wanted that to rub off on others. Hey, man, what do you think really separated me from other people in college? What do you think it is that really drove me? So I think it was a couple of things that really drove you and separated you from other people back in college. I think the main thing was to prove to yourself that even if you set a goal for yourself, you could achieve better than what you had set previously. And the reason why I thought of this was because I remember one day when we went to the gym and we were on the treadmill. You initially wanted to keep it light, but then after like 5 minutes on the treadmill, you said, I have to keep going. And you ran another 5 minutes. So I think you were trying to do better than the goal you had initially set. The second thing was, I thought you were trying to inspire others by showing people that if they invest in themselves, they can achieve whatever goals they want to set. I think that was I remember we would go to the gym together. We did keto diet together, and you said it, and you created an organization called the Society of Growth and Success. And you were trying to teach people like me to tap into their own potential, invest in themselves, and continue to work and improve every day. Listen to me. How you live your life is an example for other people. This dude just texted me saying, I remember something from 4 years ago. I didn't remember it, but the way you live your life will leave a lasting impression on people that they will never forget. Jim Rohn put it best. He said, how you live your life will either be a warning or an example. A warning of what not to do or an example of what to do. So if you're struggling, finding yourself, you feel like you need that rejuvenation, you need that remember who you are, go text the people that were closest to you when you were firing on all cylinders and ask them, what separated me? Because I needed to hear that. You see that? Man, I'm talking to me. I don't care if nobody's watching. What did he say? The main thing was to prove to yourself that even if you set a goal for yourself, you could achieve better than what you had set previously. I said, we're going to keep a light on the treadmill. And then I said, I have to keep going. How? I was going to curse, but I'm not going to. That's me. That reminds me of me. The other one. You had a drive to succeed and you did whatever it took. That's me. Don't forget who you are. Don't compare where you are to where others are. And please, for the love of God, do not think you have to go in baby steps. You're about to see something crazy. Because I got that dog back in me. I got that back in me. I got that 105 miles back in me. I got that beating 63 other people in a last man standing ultra marathon run in me. And now is being channeled into this. Some people watching this like, this boy crazy. Sometimes you need to make a message. You need to put out a message that's for you. This is one of them. But hey, I don't want you to believe me. I don't expect anybody to believe me, and I don't want anybody to believe me. Because until I produce results, you shouldn't believe me. That's the problem we have. We want people to believe in us before we got the result. That would be like saying that a food is good before you tried it. It just wouldn't make sense. Produce the result, and then people will believe. Woo! I'm pumped up. This is not a message for the weak-hearted, this is not really nice of you. I'm a dog. This is for the dogs. Like him. Right, Arlo? It's for the dogs. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to rock? My message ain't for everybody. My message is for the few people that are like, yeah, I'm going in. I'm all in. I don't want to go incremental. I want to go exponential. Because that's where we going. Hey, you better get on the boat or you're going to get left behind, folks. And I want to take you all with me because I love you. Do you understand that doing this brings me more energy than anything else that I've done throughout the day? I did a workout this morning that, let's put it this way, was not for the weak or faint of heart. Got another workout in. Went to the pool, got some sun, did a podcast interview. All great stuff. But this fills my heart because of you. And I don't say that just to say that. I love you. If you're watching this on live or replay, I love you. Because you give me the ability to share my God-given gift with you. You bring the joy to my life. So thank you. I'm very animated. Hopefully it's slightly entertaining. Hopefully, the biceps are definitely entertaining. What can I say? Call it the camel hump. And thank you for being here. This was a good one. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye for now.